Hello, good morning, and thanks for joining us on our program today, Daybreak Africa on television, Nigeria, TVN. I'm Keisha Undie. Well, don't forget, this is the program where we bring to you trending stories all around the world, beginning with Nigeria, Africa, and the rest of the world. Like, it's just everything, where we talk about sport, entertainment, religion, politics, and the rest of all the stories, beginning with the subject matter for the day. Then after the subject matter of the day, we move over to trending stories every day on this very platform. And don't forget, we always have all the, amazing patriotic Nigerians who join on this program to talk about a lot of stories. And of course, today is another very wonderful and interesting segment today. All right, good morning, Lizzie.
Good morning, Keisha. Good morning, viewers. You're welcome to Daybreak Africa on television, Nigeria. My name is Elizabeth Samsedi. How are you, Keisha?
I'm okay, Lizzie. How's it been?
Very well.
Okay. We're here again today, and the narratives are still the way they are. I woke up this morning with a question in my heart: if Nigeria really need elections at this very point in time, because a lot of disturbing stories, and it seems the government is already done with Nigerians. They are just focusing on the election at this very point in time.
No, the more reasons why we need the election. If we feel that the government is not giving us enough of what we desire, what we deserve,
right,
then the best thing to do is to vote rightly.
First of all, we need to also find
out the right choice.
Yeah, first of all, we need to find out who deserves the presidency.
That's left for Nigerians to decide, you and I and everyone else. You make your decision, okay. I make my choice, and Nigerians make their choice.
Okay, out of the culture of deception that is we've been enveloped with, right? And keep it real as we can.
Well, there is a saying that everybody deserves the leaders that they have. So again, I'll put it that it's left for Nigerians to make a choice of who comes to lead them next. Okay.
A very good morning once again, and let's get to hit some of the stories that we have. Lizzie, there's a disturbing story, a very disturbing story. Now, there have been a lot of things, contents going out there, in the name of content creator, creating a lot of things, and we are beginning to see these pranks to be something else. I watch a video of a lot of videos anyway. One, you get to see some pranks where someone walk on the street with a supposed charm, looking for someone to really have, to be a victim or to work against, and the rest of it. Then you get to see someone walking around with matches.
Yeah,
in the name of pranking people.
I have seen quite a number.
Beyond that, you also see people someone who just walks in a particular direction, runs in a particular direction, and people get to run without knowing. And I'm just
even there was one I saw, a masquerade, going around the street scaring people.
Good. So at this point in time, if we keep that in the society, we keep it going, we may not know when we are faced with the realities. Exactly. Because Nigeria at this point in time don't need such pranks. Let's get to find out one of these videos that came out. The lady who she said she was a hookup girl, and she was invited by these guys into a particular room, and where I believe most Nigerians must have watched that very one anyway. And the lady sat on the bed waiting for the guy who actually invited her to come up, and suddenly she saw this same guys dressed in the red attire as ritualists, bringing out one of the victims from the room. Supposed dead person, out of the room, and she started shouting. She was leaving the room, and before that, the guys just rushed on her, and immediately she passed out. They were just, at that point in time, started shaking and calling her back. Oh, it's a prank, and they had to get some water and pour water on her. And before she now came back to her senses, you say, okay, there's a camera somewhere there, it's a prank. Do you think Nigeria needs such at this very point in time?
No,
because it's very...
because we're in an era where we already have enough security challenges.
Right.
And there's fear in the atmosphere, okay? People are afraid.
Right.
If people go out they tremble to go out every day, right, hoping with prayers that they will go and come back. Then along the way, or rather in the course of their daily activities, then they get such a prank.
That's right.
People can pass out, and even you don't know who has a BP issue.
That's right.
And it can even lead to death.
Yeah, and secondly, you know, we need to call on the National Film and Video Censor Board to really act immediately, because this is really not business as usual.
No,
so
not.
the authorities concerned should take responsibilities at this time to make sure that, okay, this is what is supposed to be. There are contents that should pass the test before even, you know, go out there to the public. All right, so it's been an amazing time for Nigerians, so we don't have to create more tensions for us again. And I hope that today is going to be like, you know, passing out the best message that we have to make sure that the authorities concerned take.
So did you get to see the long fuel queues on your way?
Well, I was
morning?
I was going to talk about that, but I just hope that let's get to welcome our guest so we can actually allow him to also make a lot of input into some of the stories that will be coming up today, you know, from different angles. All right, we have a very wonderful, I called him a young man based on his, you know, his personality, and not.
He is a young man.
Yeah, he is a young man, because if you said he's not a young man, I don't know what your definition is anyway. To look at some of the subject matters that we'll be handling today, I'm talking about Chris Aguirre. Chris Aguirre is a patriotism activist, and he's been working so hard to make sure that he presents Nigeria to the world in a different platform. He's been working and you know, bearing this emblem of Nigeria flag for the past 20 years. That has been his duty, being patriotic enough to make sure that Nigeria return back to where he saw it years back. Please join us as we welcome Mr. Chris Aguirre. It's good to have you here, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right.
Good to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you here too.
Good morning, Nigerians. Best wishes to all of us.
All right, thank you so very much. Let's begin with, how did you get here? Did you see Elizabeth was talking about the fuel queues and the rest?
Well, the fuel queues, is this still making news? It's almost a normal
Thing.
I just came back from Lagos and I saw it in Lagos. Lagos is even biting harder. I tell you, it started here. And let's tell ourselves the truth. It's not likely to abate in the next 1 or 2 months. From what I heard over the news, there's shortage of supply. It has to do with costs, you know, and all
Cost of transportation and the
the
rest.
energy crisis rocking over the world. But it boils down to one thing:
All right.
the gross failure of we as a political entity, as a sovereignty, our inability to manage even the simplest,
Right.
which is the energy, the petroleum sector that God gave us in abundance. That should be topic for another day.
All right.
May God have mercy on us.
Yeah, they
But
said
then,
it's the
somebody,
racketeering.
yes, of course, somebody, somewhere is failing in his or her duties. And should also be held responsible for failing. That's the truth.
Okay, it's been an amazing time. Like I said before, a lot of stories in Nigeria beyond the fuel queues, like you said, is becoming like a new normal, or is becoming normal to us. I want to really find out, because I woke up this morning with so many questions in my mind, and one of the questions is, do you think is in Nigeria, these elections we are getting ready for, is what Nigeria needs at this very point in time? And if it is, the leadership, the people we are seeing, the political actors we are seeing, are they really people that can drive us to the new Nigeria that we are clamoring for?
Oh, okay, the political actors that we're seeing.
Right.
What
Because
else,
they've been part of the system all this while.
what else can we do? This is where we find ourselves. They have emerged, the candidates have emerged. The INEC timetable is already running. It's like academic program. It's not whether you like, you pay attention. If you don't like, the exam must come. February 25th, 2023, God willing, presidential elections will take place. And so, one thing is this: I crave the indulgence of all Nigerians to have one thing in mind,
All right.
to come alive with this higher degree of consciousness, and this election is a make or make election. If you look at the current state of the nation,
Right.
if you historically, you see some major crisis. It's always as a result of election issues, control of political power,
Right.
control of political power. And here we are. If you look at the way Nigeria is, if you look at the way Africa is going, if you look at Nigeria's position in the African affairs, in the world affairs, to take control of Nigeria's political power is everything. We are trivializing it because we are here to come to terms with what faces us in the immediate future. Currently, Libya as it is, Yemen, Somalia, Syria. That is what they want to replicate. What is happening in these other countries, what they want to replicate in Nigeria. Nigeria is the largest black nation in the world, 260 million people, while 70% are below the age of 45 or 50.
That means that there will be no future because
of course,
there will be no future for
it's
such.
a major crisis. And of course, the world powers are playing where blacks. The average, Western they don't care after all.
Do you think we are victims because we are blacks, or we're victims because we don't take responsibility?
We are victims first because we are unconscious of who we are. That Nigeria is positioned with great attributes of greatness for the sake of the black man, to restore the dignity of the black man that have been debased over and over for centuries. But here we are, Nigeria is fiddling with its own future. We have allowed the bourgeois, the extremists, the economic exploiters and explorers to hold Nigeria siege. This election is a great decider. We have 4 major candidates.
All right.
I pray and they call on Nigerians, out of these four, peacefully and quietly listen to one of them. Anyone that appeals to you, vote for him freely and fairly.
All right, Lisbeth, I think we have a very wonderful subject to look at regarding the elections coming up. I don't know what your take will be as we get into the discussion proper this morning to estuary voter apathy. And first thing that comes to mind, we ask ourselves, how do we communicate with voters? How do we know the mindset of the voters out there? Because one thing is to know if the people are ready and if they are ready to do what, and also to know if they're going to do it different from what it's been like. I don't know, as we get into the discussion, what is your...
Yeah, we are discussing extraying voter apathy.
Right.
Apathy.
Right.